what's happening here? Yeah. That's the richness of life, right? There's metaphor in that, right? No wind. We allow things to come in. We allow things to go out. Wind. Flow has to come from somewhere, you know, and through. What's that? And go somewhere. And go somewhere. Audible breath in. If you're new to Hoop Path, I hardly ever say audible breath out because I just don't want to tell you what to do. Don't you hate that? It's like, I got it. I'm just holding it. Audible breath in. One more audible breath in. First of all, she hates this, but Christina? Yeah. My behind the scenes, everything?
You're the woman.
Yeah.
I was almost on my way out to the car. Could you have just given me another 20 seconds?
I know. For those of you that aren't aware, Christina is our everything.
Yeah.
Here's what she's not. She's not the schedule. Okay? She's not your ride to the airport. She's not the person you come to if you forgot lunch. Anybody know about Burning Man? You ever heard about that? One of the principles is radical self-reliance. We've given you a schedule. Almost everybody has a smartphone now. You can find the schedule and you can see without asking, okay? I know it's an innocent question, but when you get asked 100 different times, it's annoying. Audible breath in. Super shout out big to Con. I mean, 9 years together. Thank you, Con. And you know, I don't know why Con decided to step down from teaching. I did not fire him, but he's always been like probably our highest rated, or just super well loved. And so thank you, Con, for being a part and bringing the energy.
It's an honor.
Yeah, and then the two divas themselves over here. On divas. Tiana Zamora, guys. If you don't know Tiana, you're weird. I will bring it to you. No, but if you don't know Tiana, she's just phenomenal mover and teacher of movement and artist and poet and just all the things. And then hopefully everybody knows Anna as well. And, you know, not that this is a big deal, but it meant a lot to me at the time. Like, Anna paid for her first time to come to Hoop Path Retreat.
Wow.
You know, if you don't know your hoop history, Anna's sort of like the Eve, you know, and she paid to come, or at least offered to pay. I can't remember exactly.
I paid.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. My landlord thanks you. So, thank you. Anna actually, it's real important to pass belief on. You let like insecurity, but if you believe in somebody, tell them. You know? Like with Anna, it's like, the reason that the Hoop Path, I mean, I like to think it would have started anyway, but it did start because Anna invited me out to LA to teach. Well, I was going to LA and she invited me to teach a workshop. And it was rad. I don't know if you guys have heard this story, but like, I told it last year. I walk in this room, it's a bunch of hot girls. And it's like 2000, I guess, 5?
Something like that.
Something like that, 2005, and I walk in there, and anyway, I was just being funny about the hot girls, but it was like everybody that I knew of hoopers back then was basically there. And they wanted to see me do the breaks and paddles, that's why I was there. And I taught the workshop, And honestly, during the whole workshop, I had like permagrin. I was just perfectly happy and like content. And then at the end of it, Hannah comes up and she brings me an envelope. And she was like, "This is all we got, but you know, I hope you're happy with it." And I opened up the envelope, and I think it was like $240. Yeah. And outside, I was like, "Oh, thank you." Inside, I was like, $200. So thank you, Anna.
I feel I talked you into increasing your price.
That's right. Yes, you did.
You wanted to charge like $20 or something?
Yeah, I think I want to do 20 for a 3-hour class.
What's happening here? Come on.
The most successful teachers are the ones that got past their fear. You know what I mean? You can't be afraid and lead people. Y'all know that. I mean, you know, that's why I'm like Mr. Confidence guy for you guys. I'm not really an egomaniac, it's for you. Yeah. Okay. This is my last year, so I'm going to talk as long as I want to, so just get comfortable. Pack a lunch. I know, it's so unlike me just to say what's on my mind. If you haven't been here before, here's how to be here. Be you. That's just the way to do it. And y'all are so nice, and sometimes your niceness takes you away from your authenticity. But don't go crazy on me. Being authentic doesn't mean that you get to be rude to people. It means that you can be comfortable being introverted. You can be comfortable sitting back and watching. You can be comfortable participating. You can be comfortable hooping. Audible breath in. You're not this fearful creature. That's not you. That's like your conditioning, that's your history talking, but it's not you. It's not you. And this weekend is about creating like this acceptance vibe so that you can be you. And you know what, when people are really being themselves, they don't even want to talk about politics, they don't want to talk about the controversial stuff. Because what's really you? You know? And have the confidence to be that. If it makes you feel better, I actually think that there's divine purpose in your authenticity. I actually think that the world balances itself with all the different ingredients being their ingredient. See what I mean? You don't throw cilantro in there and the cilantro go, well, it's mostly parsley in here, so I'm going to go a little parsley on it. Yeah, it's warm in here. I kind of like the pepper. I'm going to be pepper. See what I mean? If you're in a really happy place and everybody else is in a sad place, be grateful. If you're in a really sad place and everybody's in a happy place, don't be resentful. Be like, thank God they're not as sad as I am right now. Right? You know, the thing is, at first, like you get on Facebook, something really bad has happened in your life and everybody's waxing poetic about how awesome Bonnaroo is. You know what I mean? And you're like, did you not just read what I wrote? Somebody's going on about orange is the new black, and you're like, I am in trouble. But the reason, we're not supposed to be synced up. You know, I've shared this before, but my dad said the saddest thing about JFK being assassinated was that the whole world was sad on the same day. Same with Martin Luther King. You know? Audible breath in. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. These are my notes, by the way. What we're going to do, well, before I get into the Maidan, I have been thinking about this, like, is this going to be the last significant group that I ever speak to in my life? Like, will this be the largest group that I ever get from here, what would I say to the largest group ever? And if you know me, you know that I totally don't believe what I just said.
Yeah.
I got big plans.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. But people have asked me before, like, Baxter, you talk about the Maidan, I've heard you say stuff, and then like, right before I think you're about to tell us what you believe in, you stop. So I was thinking about it this year, and I was like, can you see me, Jared? I was like thinking about it this year, and I was like, okay, maybe it's time to just answer the question, what does Baxter believe in? What's my belief system? And before I get into it, I'm not really going to, it's super short. If I could see it, touch it, and hold it, I wouldn't have to believe in it. You know what I mean? It's a belief. If it's this table, it's a fact. I don't have to believe in this table, right? In fact, my non-belief in this table isn't going to make me hit the ground. This table's not here, this table's not here, this table's not here, this table's not here, this table's not here. My belief is in the things I have not seen yet, but that I want to. That's what I believe in. I believe in racial equality. I haven't seen it. I believe in economic fairness. I believe in decency. I believe you don't need a book to know your morals. I believe in love. But a bigger version than what I'm seeing here. Love is not like this slide that you take down into a pool. Do you know what I mean? I decided to love. Life is easy. Right? So you're like, ew. Been there, done that. Turn 30. I'm about to get a little sort of religious-y on you. Pretend it's a poem and not a belief system. I had a dream one time. I never have dreams. It was actually a pretty poetic one, actually. And I remember, it's going to sound cheesy, but whatever. I was on a horse, bareback. The horse was bareback. Really? Really? Can we just move on? The horse is saddleless, right? Saddle and no bridle. What's the thing? Bridleless. It was just there. In fact, I think my dreams got the image from the Picasso painting. Has anyone ever seen the portrait with where he's guiding the horse, but there's no bridle on it? It's beautiful. He did it when he was 23. And I'm on this white horse. And there's nothing to hold on to. And I remember in the dream, like, trying to grab the muscles of this big-ass horse and without grabbing its, like, mane. And it's running like crazy over everything. And I am, like, terrified. I remember that feeling of, like, do you ever, like, fall in a dream and you feel like in the bed you just... Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You ever have that? Like, what the hell? That's kind of like what was happening. It's like, and I'm going through that, and I swear to God, well... I promise that I heard them say, Giancarlo, hold tight to the mane of God. And so, like, we can swap out God for love. But if you're gonna ride this horse, man, it's gonna be running over some rough shit. It's gonna stop, it's gonna want to bounce you, and you're holding on to its very essence. And you're not controlling that, you're riding it. And when you start to understand, like, love that way, you're like, okay, well, I didn't expect love. I mean, she rides horses. Sometimes the horse just stops. You're like, all right. Audible breath in. But what other horse do you want to ride? You think that one's rough? Ride competition for 30 years. Ride comparison for 30 years. Ride dissatisfaction. See where those horses take you. Audible breath in. I've been trying to open myself up as the biggest inbox for everything that you need to hear right now. To let it come through me. Giancarlo. The channel. To deliver a message. And so I've thought about you guys. I even looked over the roll a couple of days ago just to see who was coming. And I hooped on it and thought about it. And this is what I want to say. And I think it may just speak to one of you. Audible breath in. Some of you have had so many cloudy days that you've forgotten that the sun is there. And you're looking for your goodness. And you've equated your goodness with your value. Your goodness is not this small little thing you can't see. It's as big as the sun. Your goodness, you want to be good. You want to. It makes you feel good. It's like the sun and all these plants that grow towards it. You're pulled to your goodness. It nurtures you. Just because you've lost sight of it right now, these are cloudy days, my friend. Audible breath in. So many of you have come and said that you need it this year. I've gotten about 8 letters from people like Baxter, I need it this year. And some of the reasons is job insecurity, breakups, the usual sort of stuff. I need it. Audible breath in. Ashwa, the teacher spirit of the Maidan. She only teaches humble students. And she makes every student, before she starts, say, do you promise to try everything I'm going to teach? Humble. You know? Humble. I was wrong. You know? It's a good feeling sometimes when you tell people that you were wrong. You know what I mean? And it means a lot to that person. Because that person, if they're sensitive, has been walking around for the last 3 years going, was it her? Was it me? Was it her? Was it me? Was it her? Was it me? And you can go up and be like, you know what? It was me. Audible breath in. I don't want to be morbid. But I'm about to give the funeral. The things we work for versus the things we want our friends to say when we're gone. What's more important? I mean, think about it. Honestly, I don't want to be a jerk, but I don't want someone to get up at my memorial and say, Baxter was rich as hell. Well, that would be a lie. Baxter had savings account. Baxter went to the dentist. No, man, I want people to say, you know, Baxter was love. You know? Y'all feeling me?
gonna cry.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm pulling the tears back. They're like on the eyelids. They're like, we're going dead. I'm like, no, you're not. We're going dead. No, you're not.
They're going downstairs. Yeah.
All right. I've only been talking 20 minutes. This is crazy for me. I know, I've got 20 more. Just kidding. Everybody's like, what? I need a beer. To all my empaths out there, what a tough year on our hearts. Nobody understands us. I do. I got you. You read the news, man, your heart's like breaking in half, and people want to talk about which side is which, and you know what I mean? Nine beautiful people get killed. And we're talking policy before the bodies are even cold. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat anymore. I'm a human. And a human sees 9 people dying. 9 good people. Read their bios, it's amazing. And we want to talk about policy. You can't prevent crazy, I don't care which side you are. But you love through it. You love through it. Audible breath in. For you that have had a rough year because you feel all this stuff so deeply, if you have a divinity, if you have something to thank, if you just want to thank nature, be glad that you feel that deep. I know you guys hurt, but I don't want to see your heart with calluses all over it. I don't want to see it wrapped in leather. I don't want to see it protected. And I know it hurts, but I need you just to keep going. Stay this course of love, I promise. Hold on. I mean that with my whole heart. And I hold you like I know it's like rough. But that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. You know what I mean? When I heard the rain come on, when Ann started singing. Yeah. And my dad used to talk about their lakes of happiness sometimes running dry. Can you imagine like all that rain, instead of it being this thing we have to drive through, it's happiness filling up our happy lake.
Hey, I love like happy.
Right? Last thing I want to say before